The White House goes into shutdown, and more people find out about what happened in the president's room. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? And welcome back to KRSTV. This is your boy, Kenny. Now, remember, subscribe to my channel, and click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow all the information I have in the description box as well as the comment section. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. Now, before I get started, let me send a special shout out to the GMHC crew, which is Gay Men's Health Collaborative. If you are in the DMV area and would like to get tested for HIV, reach out to us at the GMHC crew to get a home testing kit. You can have the kit mailed to you, or you can call us at the GMHC crew to make a same-day appointment to come to our location to pick one up. And if you're interested in getting set up for PrEP, which is HIV prevention, reach out to us at the GMHC crew for that as well. Also, if you're a fan of KRSTV and would like to become one of my Black Diamonds, sign up for my Patreon today. Black Diamonds, because in darkness, we still shine. For $5 a month, you get all of my YouTube content, as well as exclusive videos that will be for the Black Diamonds that will not appear on YouTube. So, check out my Patreon today. Also, check out my YouTube partner, BK World 2, which is the Black Netflix. You get shows like The Haves and the Have-Nots and the Black Ink Crew. So, after you watch this review, check that link in my description box in the comment section to check out BK World 2 today. Now, this is The Oval, Season 1, Episode 19, and the name of this episode is Clueless. And trust and believe, this was a really meaty episode, and I was here for it. So, let's begin. The episode picked up where it left off, where Barry had told Nancy that he killed Ruth. And I knew that that was some bullshit, because Barry just said that shit because no matter what he says, Nancy is not going to believe him. And I'm just like, for the one, like, damn, like, your son seemed like he's a good guy. Like, why do you just had this nasty rapport that you just think your son is always lying? And it's crazy. And he's like, I killed her. And he's like, ain't that what you want to hear? You know, and he was like, so tell me, where's the lie? And she's like, excuse me? He says, well, I tell you I did, you don't believe me. And I tell you I didn't, you don't believe me. So where's the lie? And then she slapped the hell out of him. And she's like, and he's like, what kind of shit is this that my own mother doesn't believe me? And she's like, well, tell me the truth. Because she was just like, tell me the truth. And he's like, I didn't do that to her. I could never do that to her. You know, because even though he really... Oh, yeah. So, because even though he really can't stand Ruth's ass, you know, he still has a place in his heart for her because that's the mother of his daughter. Like, and she was like, who are you? And he's like, I'm your son. And she's like, no, my son was gentle, kind, and soft-hearted. And then he pretty much says that, yeah, but his daughter wasn't taken from him, now was it? I'm like, finally, check her ass, because Nancy, you're completely oblivious to the fact that he's changed because his daughter was taken, and there's no limit to probably what's going on in his mind as to what could be happening to his daughter. Someone could be hurting her, someone could be raping, could be molesting her or whatever. Like, he probably got all kind of crazy thoughts going on into his mind as to what's going on with his daughter. His daughter could be dead somewhere. So anybody in a situation like that is not going to be their self. And he's like, yeah, you're right. And he's like, yeah, and it's your fault. I'm like, put the blame where it belongs. And he's like, I told you not to let her see Callie. The damn daycare even knows not to let her see Callie. But here it is, my Bible preaching mother allowed her to see Callie, and look what happened. And she's like, you mean to tell me that all of this behavior is all because of one moment? And he got up and yelled in her face like, it might as well be. I'm like, Nancy, are you serious? Like, what makes you think that that one moment was just something that's gonna pass? His daughter is still missing. Like, why would you not realize that, yeah, that moment changed everything for him? And then he told you not to let her see Callie, and you just went against his wishes and did shit your way, and now it's a big old mess. And he just like got into her face and told her the truth. I'm mad as hell at you right now. And he's like, I would have been told you the truth, but all it does is get you sick. And then he calls the guards and is like, I don't want to see her no more. Guard! And she's like, well, I didn't want to see you either. I'm here because of your daddy. You know, he was about to get up from his bed to come here. But clearly, you're not the man that I raised. So I'm going to stand by the man who needs me. And when you grow up and realize you need me too, you let me know. And she leaves out, and then Detective Jake was like, are you done? And she's like, I'm beyond done. And I walked out. I'm like, honey, you can't be mad when you're the one that caused all the bullshit. That's what I'm saying. Nancy be having her ways now. Y'all got to be paying attention to Miss Nancy. I still call her Miss Nancy because I do got respect for my elders. But Miss Nancy be all in the damn wrong. And in that situation, she was in the wrong because at the end of the day, Barry has every right to be upset. Now, yeah, it's crazy that Barry is just making bad decision after bad decision. But this man's daughter was taken from him. And he doesn't have not even a portion as to where to go to find her. Do you think he's going to be rational after that? And it's just like, Nancy can't sit in the fact that you caused this. Your son is out here running crazy because you didn't listen to him. Own your shit, Miss Nancy. Own your shit. Okay, let's keep it moving. So then, we get a scene with Priscilla and Sam. We get some tea about their marriage. They ain't had sex in 3 weeks. And she's like, he's like, don't you miss it? And she's like, well, not like you do. And then it's like, she's like, I just been so tired lately. I'm like, girl, you better go get a Red Bull and better put on a show, honey. Or get you a 5-hour energy drink. You better do something. You know, like at the end of the day, they're like, let's just keep it real. Like, a man is only going to accept no many times until somebody tells him yes. And that will be all she wrote. And then she's like, well, okay, well, how much time we got left? And then Sam was like, well, damn, you making it seem like it's a chore. I'm like, dang, don't you want to get it in? She's like, but I'm so tired. I'm like, and you got that damn bloodhound Victoria sniffing on your man, leaving her scent on him? Boo-boo, you not catching the fact that your marriage right now is in danger? Or better yet, you got a bloodhound that's trying to come in between the two of you? You better peep game, miss. And cut your bullshit, Priscilla. Alright, so then we got Kareem and Sharon with they old trifling asses. They done slept in the store and everything. The glass company is on their way, and pretty much she lets him know that he can go home and shower and that she'll handle everything, and then she'll go shower after he gets back. So Yeah, they're all trifling asses anyway. Yeah, it's good just slept in the store because both of y'all are the reason why that everything went down with y'all nasty asses. Shoot, you could have took her to a hotel with your broke ass. Anyway, so then we see that Hunter finally changed the mattress, and then Dan Victoria comes in there gloating, and he's like, "Go to hell." And she's like, "What are you, 5?" And he's like, "Yeah, I wish I was 5. I can go back before I met you." And she's like, "Hell, that makes 2 of us. I wouldn't be here with you and those damn kids." I'm like, wow. Say how you really feel, Victoria. Everything's a damn front. The marriage and the kids. Them kids ain't nothing but damn accessories to her. She don't give no fucks about her children. And you wonder why her kids are so fucked up. Yeah, and he was like, "Yeah, you can go be with Marvin." Yeah, and she's like, "Yeah, I can be with Marvin and I would be happy." Um, and then she's like saying that, and I'm horny as hell. I'm like, yeah, that's the reason why you acting crazy. Because your secret garden is blooming and don't nobody want the key to go in there to see it. Yeah, I said it. Anyway, and he's like, well, I ain't trying to, like, I ain't doing that. And she's like, please, after you done messed around with that whore, you think I will let you touch me? And then he's like, it's all funny how you whores like to rank yourself. Like, the way they talk to each other is just hilarious to me because they hate each other to the core. So when they go back and forth with their banter, it's just funny and good TV. I'm so here for it. So then, finally Nancy comes back. Richard's giving the nurse a hard time. And he asks about Barry, and she's like, he's fine. And then also she's like, where did we go wrong? How can he act like this? And all that. I'm like, she be making me mad, bro. Because I'm like, what the hell is wrong with Nancy? Like, girl, you mean to tell me you don't get the fact that him losing his daughter just literally broke him? So, and then like she just saying like, why would he do that? Like, what is it? And that's pretty much, Richard questioning like, well, why would he do that? Like, it had to be something. And pretty much she lets him know that what Barry told her, that about Sharon and Kareem, he saw them having sex, and that's why he's like, wow. And he's like, well, how crazy he is when he's in love. And he's like, I'm gonna go talk to him. And she's like, no, you're gonna stay and get well. I just like, she just got this whole vendetta against her son when really he should be the one mad at your ass because he told you not to let your damn granddaughter see her mother, but you wanted to be holier than thou, and all you did was create a big mess. See, those Bible-toting Christians, those are the ones you need to watch out for, because once they get in the church, they start thinking they're holier than thou and they know everything. Wrong! Saying. So then we see Priscilla and Sam at work, in the kitchen, and they flirting with each other. And, she's like, I get off at 5 tonight, and then like they kind of, get, playing with each other because, hey, they both are backed up. And I'm like, and Sam got a loaded gun and he's ready to start shooting. And then all of a sudden that damn trifling ass Victoria shows up. And she's like, he excused himself. She's like, you must not be much of an agent if I can walk up on you. She just makes it blatantly obvious that she's flirting with Sam. And then she starts talking to Priscilla and was like, you shouldn't be flirting with the Secret Service. And he's married. And she's like, I know, ma'am, to me. And she starts, and like you can see that she's sizing up Priscilla. And Priscilla kind of giving like, like, bitch, try it if you want to. Like, because Priscilla plays her role, but Priscilla gives me that energy that if you cross her, she will lay you out. I get that vibe from Priscilla. I'm just waiting for Priscilla to do it because when because Victoria keep coming after damn Sam. I think Priscilla would like beat Victoria's ass. Like I really think that Priscilla could give Victoria a run for her money, because a woman don't play when it comes to her man now. But I'm saying, but now that you see this going on, Priscilla, you need to handle Sam, and you better do it quick, because you got a little daggone, horny nugget right here who's ready to pounce on him and ready to give all of her to him. Like, so get on it, Priscilla. Get on it. So, we see that Donald, comes, runs into Victoria. He's looking for Hunter. Hunter's in the room, and he pretty much says that, yeah, I need Hunter because we have a mountain of briefs to look over. And she asks, have you met my parents? And he's like, have you talked to them? And he says, no, I don't, and all of that, which is a damn lie. He does know her parents, and he knows her parents very well. And she's like, well, why? And she's like, I don't like you, and I don't trust you, and I don't believe you. And she's like, you sleep with men, don't you? Yeah, I know all about you, and you're afraid to come out. But don't worry, my ignorant country-ass husband doesn't know. He doesn't know anything about war or national security. So, this is the deal. You are going to discuss these matters with me, because all he is a figurehead. And he's like, well, ma'am, you don't have that level of clearance. And she's like, do you want to know why I'm first lady? And he's like, because you love your husband. She was like, even you don't believe that bullshit. It's because I'm a brown girl. And due to the fact that this country is so racist, the reason why I'm not president is because I'm brown and black. I am 10 times smarter than that son of a bitch, and I'm still in his shadow. Yeah, and it's a path you chose, honey. But then again, you were pretty much forced because your parents are evil as hell. And then she still keeps, and she pretty much says that, yes, I want to be brief every day. As a matter of fact, won't you just give me his copy, because he's not going to read it. And we just see that Donald has this smug look on his face, like he hates Victoria's ass. And I don't think he likes Hunter either, but he's playing a role to get what he wants, because we kind of get that about Donald. Donald will play the game in order to get what he's trying to get. And pretty much, she's like, I don't get it. And he's like, what do you don't get, ma'am? Why won't you just come out? Free yourself, honey. I was like, oh, you were so wrong. And then we see that Hunter finally comes out the room. And she's like, where the hell you going? He's like, I need a break. She's like, you need to get back to work. He's like, go to hell. So just shut that down. So then we see Detective Jake is talking to Sally, who's an investigator. And a whole lot gets revealed. She pretty much says that, the guy Hartman, the Hartman homicide, the older guy that got shot because Barry shot the gun through the car. She says, well, you can't hold Barry on it because, the issue is the bullet. It came from a gun by this guy named Picky, and Picky and Barry are cousins. So if Barry says Picky was in his car, we got nothing. And Picky's dead. So that's kind of like a win-win for Barry if Barry says that. And then he pretty much says, what about the homicide? She's like, oh, we got nothing there. The knife, the blood on it was animal blood. And that body, that was not Ruth. It was a woman named Cheryl Mintz from Ohio. I was like, wow. So all this time they thought Ruth was dead. Ruth ain't dead at all. But she tells him that, look, it's possible that he can get bail for the whole pharmacy situation, but you know, get a confession from him. So then, you know, Detective Jake talks to Sam, updates him on what the investigator told him, and he tries to tell Sam, you know, try to get Kareem to drop the charges, you know, and if that's the case, you know, Barry could walk. And then he said that the judge won't refuse bail. I'm like, yeah, good luck with that, because, you know, Kareem is a real simple, emotional son of a bitch. So then we see Kareem and Sharon. You know, Sharon is finally, you know, took a shower. And then all of a sudden he's trying to push up on Sharon, and Sharon is backing away. I'm like, Kareem, when you gonna get to your head she only see you as just a sexual thing? She's in love with Barry, honey. And she messy as shit. Because all this crap got started because she couldn't keep her legs closed. With a trifling ass. But then he's in his feelings because he says that, you know the estimate's crazy and that my insurance won't cover it. And he's like, you know, they said the only way they could do it is if I go after Barry, which I would, but it's okay. He's gonna pay for this. He's gonna pay for this. And she's like, pay for what? He ain't got no money. She's like, he got money. You know, he's been slinging dope with Picky. I'm like, oh. And then he's like, I saw it. You know, I saw it at my cousin's party. I was kind of low. I was kind of keeping it low, but I saw him drop off a brick and all this shit. And she's like, it's funny because he said the same thing about you. I'm like, so literally Sharon's perplexed because it's like both of them are saying, he's saying that he's a drug dealer, and now you goddamn Kareem saying that Barry's a drug dealer. So who's who? I'm like, personally, I don't think Barry's a drug dealer, but I could see possibly Kareem being that. I mean, hell, you saying that that the pharmacy ain't staying afloat, so how you keeping everything running, bruh? You got a little side hustle going on that don't nobody know about? But Sharon is perplexed. I'm like, yeah, you should be perplexed because you just put yourself in the middle of some mess. So then we see that Donald reaches out to Cal, and Cal comes in to meet with him, and all of a sudden Donald's mad as hell, and he's like, that bitch. And he was like, and Cal was like, see, you should have let me handle her when I had the chance. He's like, I'm not talking about Lily, I'm talking about the first lady. You know, and see, she's talking about coming out the closet. And then Kyle was like, well, she's like, don't start with me, Kyle. She's like, well, why don't you? And then he was like, Kyle, seriously. He's like, look, you called me here. And he's like, man, I just want to slap the hell out of her. You know, she talking about she want to be briefed daily and shit. And then Kyle was like, okay, do it. You know, play the game, make her feel like she has some power and all of that, you know. And then all of a sudden we get this emergency alert. It's a security breach. Everything shuts down. Sam goes to Victoria and saying, we gotta go. And Victoria still being this arrogant bitch is like, I'm busy and all this shit. And he's like, you need to move. She's like, I said I'm busy. He's like, look, I will carry you all the way down them steps if I have to. Now move! And then she got moving too. And I'm like, see, Victoria don't like authority. And there's probably some reason why. I have to say it's probably childhood trauma. Because Victoria is one batshit crazy woman. So then, we see Detective Jake talks to Barry. You know, so the White House is in lockdown, and they're pretty much going underground because there's a security breach. So then we see Detective Jake talk to Barry. You know, he presents him the money, you know, the $100,000 that they found in the room. And he's like, that's not mine. And he's like, it's not yours. Well, you know, I was about to say that we can take $5,000 of this towards your bail. He's like, well, won't you just bail me out? And he's like, no. This is not your money. Think long and hard about what you say and what you do, you know. And then all of a sudden, Barry was being real smug and was like, look, talking shit. And he shut him down. And I'm like, I'm glad the Detective Jake had to kind of pull him in reality. Like, bruh, I'm helping you. I'm putting my ass on the line for you. And I'm doing it because your godfather is asking me to help you. So you need to humor that. You need to kind of calm your ass down. And you need to understand this. Now, the thing is, if this is not your money, then you don't have no way of getting bailed out. But if it is, we can use some of this money to bail you out of jail. So then Barry says it is his money. So then he says that, Picky, your cousin, right? The gun that was shot was traced to him. Now, if you say he's in your car, then that situation is no longer on you. So was he in your car? And he's like, no. He's like, again, think very hard. Was he in your car? And he's like, but he was my cousin. He's like, your dead cousin. You can't charge a dead man. So then he's like, well, yes, he was in my car. And he's like, okay, fine. We can let you go. We got nothing on you. And he's like, well, what about Ruth and the knife? And he was like, it wasn't Ruth. So there's no murder charge either. So we're gonna post your bail and you're free to go. So that worked out. So then, while they're down underground, Victoria's still doing the most and whatever. It got to the point Sam was like, you know what, just sit down and be quiet. And then all of a sudden she had that look on her face like Victoria does not like authority at all. I'm like, childhood trauma, And then, like, they go back and forth, and she's saying that, people think I'm a bitch, but I'm just misunderstood. And she's like, how long do we got to stay down here? He lets her know they got to sweep the entire house, and once everything is clear, then they'll let us up. And then Hunter was stuck in the damn, was stuck underground with Kyle. And they come to find out that 2 assailants had breached the fence. And then pretty much he was saying that, they go back and forth, and he's pretty much saying that, are you married, Kyle? And Kyle's like, no. And he's like, don't get married. And he's like, so tell me, Kyle, are you a breast man? He's like, no, I'm much of an ass man. Like, no, boo-boo, you're more of a pickle man. Let's keep it real. And then he's like, so who are you banging right now, Kyle? And he's like, Donald, sir. And I'm like Kyle is just so fucking psychotic. This is just ridiculous. It's like he just has no qualms. He don't care. I mean, he has no feelings. He don't give a shit. So then we see Max is sweeping the bedroom, and he lifts up the carpet and sees the blood inside the president's room. So I'm like, more people are now finding out about that room and what went down. So that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So until next time, everybody, take care.